It's good to have you join us on another episode of the program from the Gombe State Government House on Wonderland Television. My name is Ibrahim Ismail. On the program today, the Gombe State Government has extended interstate travel ban restriction imposed earlier on the state 2 weeks back in an effort to curb the spread of coronavirus in the state, which the state is corona-free as of now. The Gombe State Governor Alhaji Gov Inuwa Yahaya' announced this development during a statewide broadcast, adding that the state government has put in place more proactive measures in an effort to make sure that Gombe State is coronavirus-free.
Nigeria is not spared from this invisible enemy that continues to defy physical boundaries or social status. On our part, we took proactive measures to prevent the importation of this virus into our communities, and equally prepared to detect and contain any possible outbreak or spread of the disease should it occur in our state. As at this morning, there are 343 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria, spread across 19 states and the Federal Capital Territory. While 91 cases had been successfully managed and discharged, 10 deaths were recorded. Fortunately, Gombe State still remains a zero-case status, and we pray and hope that the situation remains so. However, considering our strategic position as the commercial nerve center of the Northeast sub-region, the need for a sustained vigilance, enforcement, and control becomes even more imperative. This is because our state continues to attract the movement of people, goods, and services from other parts of the country, including states with confirmed COVID-19 cases, such as Bauchi, Kano, and the Federal Capital Territory, all of which have historical, social, cultural, and economic relationships with our dear state and its people. You recall that on Monday, the 23rd of March 2020, I inaugurated a 23-member task force on COVID-19 in Gombe State under the leadership of a renowned immunologist and public health specialist, Professor Idris Mohammed, in order to guide our response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So far, the task force has succeeded in achieving the following. 1. It has identified and prepared 3 centers for isolating COVID-19 patients as follows. A 150-bed capacity hospital at Kodon, which has been fully renovated and furnished for the management of mild to moderate cases. B, a 12-bed capacity intensive care unit at the State Specialist Hospital, Gombe, which has been established and is fully equipped for the management of severe cases, including mechanical ventilation and other intensive care needs. C, a 50-bed capacity fully equipped facility at the Federal Teaching Hospital in Gombe. D, additional isolation facilities are also being prepared at Funakai and Kaltungo LGS in order to ensure effective coverage of the state. The task force has procured over 200 million naira worth of medical supplies and consumables, including personal protective equipment, which have been prepositioned in all healthcare facilities across the state. It has built the capacity of our frontline health workers to enable them to detect and respond to any suspected case according to the guidelines issued by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC. It has carried out an intensive sensitization and mobilization activities aimed at raising the awareness of the general public on the preventive measures against the pandemic in all the 11 local government areas of the state. In addition, the rapid response teams in all the 11 local government areas have been set up in order to manage suspected cases. Arrangements have been concluded to establish a testing laboratory in the state. Already, a PCR machine has been procured. We appeal to all concerned to show more responsibility and patriotism. We shall continue to work with all stakeholders to ensure strict compliance with all restrictions and directives. On the medical front, it is gratifying to note that we continue to receive reports of exposed individuals under our robust local surveillance system. I'm impressed by the speed with which our response teams were mobilized to contact them and take necessary actions. So far, 22 suspected cases have been identified and sent, and samples were sent for testing at the NCDC laboratories in Abuja. The test returned negative. This suggests that our risk mitigation measures are effective, and hopefully they will continue to be so. I would like to use this opportunity to pay special tributes to the State Task Force on COVID-19, our surveillance and response teams, and our entire health workers on the front line as we continue to prepare against COVID-19 with remarkable commitment and sacrifice. Regrettably, the COVID-19 pandemic has triggered an economic meltdown which further deprives us of the financial resources needed to adequately confront it. However, we are working with the federal government with a view to expanding the existing palliative measures through the social investment program and the development of new strategies in order to further cushion the effect of the crisis on our people. While we are putting measures in place to prevent the spread of COVID-19, we are aware of the impact some of these measures, like a total lockdown, could have on the livelihoods of our people, majority of whom live on daily wages. As we continue to monitor and enforce the above restrictions, we will not hesitate to deploy more stringent measures when and where necessary. Our response will continue to be guided by empirical evidence and pragmatism. I would like to thank our traditional rulers, religious and community leaders, members of the media and the civil society, as well as other stakeholders for their support and understanding. Let me further solicit for their continuous support in this gigantic battle against coronavirus in the days ahead. My special thanks also goes to the honorable members of the Gombe State House of Assembly and all other political office holders who have contributed their 1 month's salaries to the fight against the pandemic. I also appreciate other numerous public-spirited individuals and corporate organizations for their financial and material contributions. I would like to use this opportunity to appeal for more support from both individuals and organizations to further complement our effort against the COVID-19 onslaught. The battle against COVID-19 pandemic can be won better by preventing its importation and spread into our communities through the enforcement of strict vigilance, observing recommended practices like hand washing, social distancing, and compliance with medical advice. It is my hope that our people will continue to abide by the standard protocols issued by the authorities from time to time. I thank you for listening, and may God keep us safe. May God bless Gombe State. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Viewers, that has been the Gombe State Governor Alhaji Gov Inuwa Yahaya speaking on yet another proactive measures taken by the state government in an effort to make sure that Gombe State remains coronavirus free. And here we have come to the end of today's packet of the program from the Gombe State Government House on Wonderland Television. I am your presenter, Ibrahim Ismail, saying stay safe. Coronavirus is real.